No, I think there was always a chance to, in every free agency, there's always a chance to kind of look around the league and, see opportunity. But in my mind, in terms of how the team operates, who Spo is, who Coach Riley is, who Andy is. I mean, it really in the last year and a half has felt like home. So at the end of the day, it didn't feel like there was any doubt. It felt like we were always optimistic that we would be able to get this done, get an extra year, and just be able to provide as much as I possibly can, for the team. And I'm very, very happy to be back.
Obviously, the contract details come out to a degree. We see 2 years, no options. Does Kevin Love fully feel comfortable at how he feels now in his age that there is still 2 seasons of Kevin Love as an NBA rotation contributor?
100%, without a doubt.
And then last for me is last season, you had a couple of seasons here. Last season was the first without UD. There, I don't want to say leadership void because UD was around a lot, but obviously on the road and other games. How much of that role have you assumed? And what's it like sort of being the OG and maybe sort of the veteran presence in the locker room? Thank you.
No, it's a great question. Obviously there's no filling the void that UD brought to our locker room, and what he meant to the organization. There's nothing I can do to fully replicate that, but I think everybody leads in their own way. I certainly do. As you know, I try to bring a sense of levity to the locker room, but then also a sense of professionalism and the pursuit of just getting better every single day. So at some capacity, it's leading by example, but also, taking certain players under my wing while also having a great relationship with our best players as well. So it's getting the most out of them. And then, I'm not going to go as far as saying I'm a true extension of the coaching staff, but I try and understand what they want on a daily basis. And I've tried to understand, how they operate as well in order to get the best out of the team and take the temperature of certain guys and understand where I can help. So I think that's a process for sure, especially, it only being, I don't even know if it's 18 months, but I like to say, just about a season and a half now of being able to, just be a constant in the locker room. So I'm hoping that, these 2 years provide a lot for me on the court and still being that contributor as we had just mentioned. But, even, throughout that time and, maybe even after that, I would love to be, step into that role and assume that role that OG had, but certainly put my own spin on it and do it in a way that hopefully, again, hard to replicate, is just as productive and meaningful for the entirety of the team. So I want to be selfless and just pay it forward. Leave. I always say plant trees, and that extends off the court as well. Just plant trees, watch them grow, and I'm hoping to do that with everybody from our young guys all the way through. Even me getting better.
Thanks and welcome back.
Yeah, appreciate it, Eric.
All right, up next, Anthony Chiang, Miami Hero. Go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, welcome back.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
When you join a new team, obviously you never know what it's going to be like, how you're going to fit, but you kind of touched on it in your previous answers. What have these past 18 months been like, and why do you feel like you've been able to fit in so well here and kind of, find a comfort level here?
Yeah, I just had a conversation today. It was funny about actually Lewis Hamilton and where he stands in F1. And my friend and I were just he works in the medical field, and this will make sense here in a minute. But we were talking about just him winning the race today and how far he's come, and Mercedes, and obviously he's switching over to Ferrari, but. We talked about him, and I said, well, it's Sir Lewis Hamilton to us, because us mere mortals don't we don't function at that level. And he mentioned, well, if you're immortal and we're mortals, then what does that make me? And I always say, like, I don't look at it like that. I think every person, every teammate, every man, woman, is my superior, and that I can learn from them. And I think that's where I'm able to fit into really any situation. Like, I feel like I could be dropped into um, anywhere. I don't want to put a limit on it and be able to be unapologetically myself. And I think people feel authenticity. And I think also humor kind of transcends, right? Like, everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to come to work and look forward to it. Everybody, even in the lulls of the season, which we certainly had, and even with the injuries, you find ways to connect with guys and get through to guys. And I don't think, for me especially, um, I'm still very young at heart. My gray hair and the wear and tear over 16 years might say otherwise, but I certainly have a way of I feel like connecting guys all the way through our lineup, even our coaching staff. And I always like to, in a similar way, learn from the guys that are legends and have been at the top of the NBA stratosphere for 50 plus years in Coach Riley. So I'm always picking his brain, picking Andy's brain, our entire front office, our analytics team. So I just want to constantly learn and therefore problem solve and be able to help guys in a way that maybe others can't.
All right, up next, Brendan Tobin, WQAM. Go ahead.
Hey, Kevin. Just curious, as you've taken this summer to kind of reflect on the past season, your guys' early exit, have you felt, like there's a lot of work you guys have to do to catch back up to Boston, or do you feel like some things just kind of break in better this year? You guys can get back to where you were, the year previous.
Yeah, I think it's obviously we have the culture, but like I said, culture, luck, demographic, timing. I mean, I think the luck component of it would obviously be our injuries, and especially our injury history over just the course of this last year and the timing of it all. And I think, you saw a lot of players go down throughout the championship run that Boston had, but that's not to take anything away from them, because they have set the standard in the NBA. They are that good. So I think they are the proverbial North Star, if you will. And in order to get better, we all need to get better. So I don't know what that means from a decision-making standpoint in the front office, obviously, but I think health played a major component. We don't like to make those excuses. I know Spo would not be happy with me even speaking about it, but I do feel that it is a part of it, that you fight the battle of attrition. You hope that the injuries are mild throughout the year, and the wear and tear is as low as it can be on guys' bodies, or as minimal, I should say, on guys' bodies throughout the year. But that was certainly something that was on the top of my mind, a limiting factor for us. But we, overall just need to get better. We need to be a more cohesive unit to focus on, the regular season and getting the best out of each other during that time. And I think that's something that the mindset starts now, right? Like, what I'm excited about too is I've had many conversations with Bam. Obviously, I spoke to him, after he signed his contract, and after it was announced, obviously not in that order, but I'm excited, really excited for him, because you always see guys coming off of USA basketball, having played with the best players and against the best competition in the world, and they have career years. And I think in the evolution of Bam's game and be able to expand his game, and now, maybe stepping in and playing a little bit more minutes at the four. Obviously, we've added depth at the five, and added depth with some size, and Nico being able to play the four and play the point forward. I think it's going to allow for him to. I don't want to speak out of turn here, but log maybe a few less minutes or be able to, get the best out of maybe 35 minutes instead of 40 or 41 or 42. So that when it comes playoff time, when we need to be at our absolute best and fresh, he can play those heavy extended minutes and be Bam and have a career year like that. And we fully expect that out of him because he chases the game, better than anyone that, I've or right up there with anybody that I've seen. So it's aspirational in that way, and he's the guy that's going to lead us.
Were there any conversations with Jaime, because Jaime's there with the select team, and what benefit I guess that work could do for him?
Yeah, that one's totally slipped my mind. Of course, he was traveling abroad with his girlfriend. We were having just conversations about travel, so he wanted to kind of lean on me with that. And so I told him I was very excited for him that he was going and being part of that group. I remember in 2008, I just came off of summer league, and the Redeem team was in Vegas, and that experience was amazing going up against them because they were incredibly hungry. The Redeem team, incredibly hungry. And Kobe set the tone. I remember OJ Mayo couldn't even get the ball past half court on Kobe, and he was picking up full court. And, I think just seeing that, obviously playing against that level of competition, but seeing that on a daily basis through their training camp was very eye-opening. And I think for Jaime, having the year that he had and making another leap and just continuing to settle into who he is and who he's going to become, couldn't be better for him. So I'm very happy that he's there, and he's not, as you guys saw this year, he's not afraid of the moment.
All right, up next, David Ramil, Locked On Heat. Go ahead.
Hey, Kevin. Welcome back and congratulations. But you kind of hinted at it earlier. Do you see that there's going to be an evolution in your role or a change back to maybe playing more spots at the forward? Because obviously you spent most of your time as center backing up Bam, but now with the addition of Khalil Ware and others, do you think that maybe you might be able to return a little bit more to that role? I know you can't really speak on it too much, but do you think that that's a possibility in the future?
I think so, because Khalil, you see it that he's, so agile and, able to move so well. And the way I saw him, run the floor in that first game was very impressive. So yeah, I think that there is room to operate within that space. I think naturally you guys have seen within our zone, but certainly in our man-to-man offense, that we, I operate better at guarding a five. I think that at this stage in my career that is the case, and being able to play high-low or being able to space the floor while a traditional five operates within the paint is, something that I can add high value to. So I think, it's something that's there. I'm sure it's something that we'll toy with and see in training camp, but I think it could be something that is, what could happen this year.
Thank you.
All right, up next, Zachary Weinberger. Go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, welcome back. I just kind of, you hit on Khalil Ware a little bit. Just can you kind of talk about what you've seen from him? I know that he's only played one summer league game, again, being for a little bit, but obviously adding that kind of size, that elite athleticism, what have you seen from him? And, what are you most looking forward to maybe even teaching him once he maybe gets on the roster?
Yeah, I used to watch a lot more college basketball. I just think that at the very top, it's very top heavy. So until the tournament, I haven't watched too much. So a lot of what I've seen from him has been, from highlights, and then, word of mouth and kind of what to watch or certain games where he performed at a very high level throughout the year. So you see, his ability to run the floor. I saw, great, block a number of shots yesterday. Obviously, there was the one play where he blocked 2 or 3 in a row. So just that size and athleticism, I think, is huge. you know, and adding depth for us at that position, and something that, you know, that type of player is just, you know, at least since I've been here, which hasn't been too long, the way, you know, how athletic he is on both sides of the ball is, you know, really impressive. And I think he'll continue to extend his game every year, be able to, you know, really shoot it. And not unlike Bam, be able to just continue to get better, because that's what our player development does. I mean, we have been able to take so many players and, you know, rise above and play extremely well. I mean, there's, you know, Haywood and Caleb and Gabe and Max and Duncan and all these guys have been able to, you know, start their careers and have great careers because, you know, they put in the work, and, you know, on the coaching staff, they do a great job of that. So yeah, looking forward to see his evolution and have him as a rookie. It seems like a really good kid. I hate to use the word kid, but obviously he's, you know, young compared to me.